From Insider, Donald Trump proposes 10 new freedom cities featuring futuristic flying cars in a new campaign video. God damn it.
Flying cars?
I think Trump might be onto something here.
Nope.
No, probably not. All right, here we go. Here's the article. Former president...
People can't drive cars when they're on the ground.
True. Former president and 2024 Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump laid out futuristic urban development proposals on Friday, calling for a, quote, quantum leap in the American standard of living.
Somebody just taught him that
word. No, it's like he's combining Great Leap Forward with like a fucking TV show from 20 years ago or whatever. He's like, we're going to do the quantum leap.
We're going to do the quantum leap like the $6 million man.
It's like, yeah.
We're gonna get Detective Columbo.
It's like, you realize you're kind of referencing a communist program. He's like, what are you talking about? The Great Leap Forward? No. This is the quantum leap. This is the quantum leap.
What's the great what? That sounds great. The Great Leap Forward? Ooh, I like that. Make America leap forward greatly.
Well, maybe we should come up with a 5-year plan.
Yeah, he fucking accidentally turns into Mao.
Yeah. But like the stupid version of car of the future? Question mark. Ford,
dude,
applies for patent on car that can automatically repossess itself.
This is my favorite thing. All right, so like, my immediate first thought was like somebody, you know, whoever's in charge of like processing the cars that are driving themselves back to the dealership. Like, you know, oh look, another repo came in. Oh my God. What is that? Is that rotting fish covered in burnt hair? Oh, I really hope that that's a big pile of just dirt and mud. Oh, it's poop. Oh, it's poop. Because that's what will happen to absolutely every single one of those cars. Is that the owner of said car will be like, oh, the car is repossessed. You know, leave the car, leave now.
You have 12 hours to.
Yeah, it's like you will spend that entire time shitting and filling it full of all your garbage.
let's talk about Havana Syndrome. Havana Syndrome. Havana Syndrome. Havana Syndrome. I am blocked from reading this whole article from Washington Post. But
it doesn't matter.
Basically, at the end of the day, the mysterious ailment of Havana Syndrome, the powers that be now say, is not caused by some foreign energy, mind, brain melting weapon or some shit.
Oh, they're
that Cuba invented
attacks.
or Russia or whatever. No. It's just as many leftists said it was, just a fucking way for government employees to get free health care and justify the bad feelings they have about the terrible things they do
about themselves and their families.
It turns out after a couple of years of working for the federal government and these certain agencies, you realize, we're not actually doing good around the world. We're just promoting or just supporting the interests of our corporations and that kind of shit. Like the oil companies and the energy companies, and we're not doing any good for the world. And then all of a sudden,
of course not,
they wake up from their fucking binge drinking night of trying to forget how horrible their job is,
and then they have a panic attack while they're driving.
Yeah, and then it's Havana Syndrome. Oh, this buzzing in my ears that's happening when I have this panic attack regarding my job.
Yeah, this really a Cuban cricket.
Yeah, so you gotta love it. There it is. There it is.
There it is. Like it.
They passed the law giving everyone free health care if you Michael Scott style, proclaim that you have Havana Syndrome. I declare Havana Syndrome.
I do declare.
Then all of a sudden, now you have free healthcare for the rest of your life. Oh, no, once they pass that, then they can say, it was actually bullshit. Oops, 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 oops.
By the way, public service announcement, dude. You think it's fun to get drunk and drive a boat, right? And it is. But this is the thing. This is the thing about that, man. You've got to be able to see everything, right? That is the one thing that if you got a boat and you want to have a little couple drinks and start driving the boat, it's fun. It is. I've done it myself. But your boat can't be that fast right? That's the thing. It's like every time I've gotten drunk and driven a boat, it's a fucking little boat, right? It's like a little fucking piece of shit, like the, onboard motor, with the stick.
And you're just drinking a couple beers in the daytime.
Yeah,
you're not going in the middle of the night.
The biggest daytime.
And drinking 6 to 8 beers and then fucking crashing.
Yeah, no, and that's, and I was a child, I think, too. It wasn't, I was it was one of those things where, I was drunk because my dad let me have a beer and then drive it wasn't it wasn't, I wasn't shit-faced.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I imagine that getting shit-faced and driving a boat would be fun. But here's the thing. You do that shit in the day, and if the lake is crowded or if the fucking waterway is crowded, you sober the fuck up. The same way that you would if you're driving a car. Yeah. Except a car can stop, right? You can't really stop a boat. You can't. It's in the water. You can't. Once it's going, it's going.
Yeah.
You gotta wait for it to decide to stop.
Road conditions vary a lot with weather, but the water conditions, the waves, and all that shit varies so much. And on change on a dime, and
And no, not even that. What? To stop a boat. You tell me how to fucking stop a boat. You have to turn the engines backwards and then, you know what I mean? It's
drop anchor or something.
Yeah, it'd be you have to. In order to stop a car, you have to throw it in reverse and then just wait, right? That's how you stop a boat.
Didn't Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank crash his boat?
Those were all words you just said. I don't know nothing about none of that.
What's the guy's name?
I'm pretty sure there's a guy named Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank.
Yeah, he's the bald, the one that's not even afraid to say, yeah, I'm an
no
evil capitalist.
idea what. No,
God,
I've never watched.
O'Leary.
I've never watched any of that show ever.
Well, I have. Just like the Chapo guys were saying, it's one of the best shows to watch when you're in a hotel. I don't know why, but you got the Cuban, who's I'm a billionaire, but I like to do good with my money, that whole kind of facade thing.
Philanthropist.
And then you got there's that guy from he's an immigrant from Eastern Europe. I forget his name, but he's another one who's sort of
Vlad.
And then you have O'Leary, who's I am an evil capitalist. He's he doesn't say evil, but he's I am a capitalist. I want to take your company. I want to outsource all the jobs to China and make you money. And half the people are I came to get your.
I want you. You're the one I want.
Yeah. So he's the one who's not afraid to just say no, we're gonna do some stuff.
Get some money. He crashed the boat. Oh, I'm shocked. But anyway,
I think it was his wife actually, but I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Whatever. All those people are the same. Anyway, the thing is okay. So wait. So does that mean that he's doing some sort of that his killing his kid was some sort of mercy killing because he was going to end up in prison for the whole thing is so fucking dumb and that. And so when I found out how dumb it was, that's when I was oh, okay, I get why people are hooked on this. Because it's fucking stupid, and it's in South Carolina, which makes it stupider. Fuck South Carolina. If anyone's listening from South Carolina, you know.
Yeah. I have family in South Carolina, and...
it's hell.
I mean, Myrtle Beach is not bad, but if you have the ability to go to North Carolina or even Georgia, just do it. People in South Carolina, you're better off.
Just get out of there, man.
You're better off.
This is the biggest. My biggest beef with South Carolina is so I-95 goes from fucking the tip of Maine to fucking Miami, right? And do you want to know the only goddamn motherfucking place in the country where it goes to 2 lanes? It's in South fucking Carolina.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I have cursed South Carolina driving down 95 so many times.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I hate it. That alone is enough to make me hate the state. And then on top of that, I hear stories that come out of South Carolina. I'm well, there's just another notch on that belt. There's just another that's another dart on the board of fucking shit. Fuck you, South Carolina.
Yeah, lately it's been like every red state has some new announcement. We're going to be bigoted and
No, we're gonna
laws that prevent trans people from
didn't
existing.
CPAC just happen?
Yes, actually. Oh, I have I've got an article on that one.
Well, a guy at CPAC straight up was like, we need to eradicate trans people from the earth or something.
I didn't hear that, but I believe it.
Like, he straight up said the thing.
That's like, what they do at CPAC. They say whatever the fuck they want.
But
assume that no libs are really listening or paying attention.
But of course, there are people that are paid to do it.
All right.
I got a culture jam.
All right, let's do it. Oh, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, Culture Jam.
I mean, it's like, it's not recent culture. But let the music play. I watched Training Day last night. Do you remember Training Day?
Yes.
Denzel Washington won an Oscar.
That's one movie that I saw when I was like 15, 16.
Yep.
And never watched again.
I saw it when I was 15, 16, and then I watched it all the time. That was like one of those, it was that era of like Fight Club, Training Day, like where Kevin Smith movies and stuff, where you like...
You're talking about the late 90s when movies were really fucking good?
Well, late 90s and like early 2000s where especially I thought that I was like a film snob.
Right.
Before I became a real film snob, like before I became an actual film snob.
Right. Training Day was one
of those like, oh, it's so real or whatever.
Yeah.
And not only is it not that, but a thing that I like, it's like I like it for a totally different reason now, and it's that it's the most potent indictment of neoliberalism that I've seen maybe ever. Because this is the thing, right? So for those of you who aren't old and who haven't seen Training Day, Denzel Washington plays Alonzo Harris, who's a narcotics cop who's dirty as fuck.
Yeah.
And who owes a shitload of money to some Russians, as it would turn out.
Of course. That was like one of the last big movies that had the Russians as the evil.
Ethan Hawke plays Jake. Jake is a noob.
Yes.
He's fresh off the academy or whatever.
Never smoked PCP.
Never smoked PCP. Never, and whatever. And so basically it's Denzel Washington punking his ass over and over and over again, while also being like, hey dude, if you don't like this, you should probably leave. Which he probably should have did a couple of times there. There were a couple of times where his like ambition got the better of him, blah blah blah. The thing that makes it such a great indictment of neoliberalism is that Alonzo is neoliberalism. Like, he has a big gun, he's flashy, he owes money everywhere.
He's got the good guy face. But the bad guy
and he like, he daps up the homies, right? He fucking like, and everyone is constantly talking shit about him behind his back. Like, everyone hates him.
Yeah.
But they're nice to him to his face, right? Jake is a, whatever, quote unquote, good cop, right? He stops a girl from getting raped. He narrowly escapes several attempts on his life. And then he goes to find Alonzo, who is being a piece of shit wherever he's, whatever. It's a constant him being like, maybe this guy's a piece of shit. No, I'm going to keep going a little longer. Oh, maybe he's a piece of shit. Well, he just made a pretty good point. And Alonzo's ability to persuade is the real neoliberal, crucial, like, his ability to make you go like, that's a good point. I mean, I guess things are like that. And then you go, wait a minute. No, he's making them like that. Right?
Exactly.
Like, this is his doing. Right? They would be less, they might still be like that, but they would be less like that if this motherfucker wasn't around, making everybody nervous and pretending to like everyone. And thinking that he's he's this big bad motherfucker who's like, he's playing everyone. But meanwhile, everyone's like, this fucking piece of shit. Of course he's not the thing he says he is. Right? And so the whole time I'm watching it as like, it's no longer, these people are no longer characters. Right? The whole movie isn't about cops or LA or whatever. It's about, it's purely about economic systems and their competition with each other. Like, you have we have gangbangers, right? Who are like, that's like mid-level capital, authoritarian capital, right? That's your, like Singapore or something, right? Like, where it's like, it's rough. You can make money doing it, but you gotta be really ruthless, right? And they don't let you play the game unless you work really hard, right? You got the Hispanics. They're on their own thing. They have a thriving black market, and every now and then somebody comes and pokes their fucking nose in, right? You got the fucking old white people. They are obviously the fucking barons that are just holdovers and are fine neoliberalism, do whatever you want as long as you're not going to affect us in any way.
Yeah.
Right? And then neoliberalism's walking around with his dick out the whole time and everybody's plotting to kill him.
Yay.
Now, the problem is that he actually does get killed. So, spoilers. So, that's where it fails as a metaphor. second culture jam, which is that I watched a movie called M3GAN. Have you heard about this? It's M3GAN with a 3 as the E.
Okay.
It's about an AI, scary AI doll.
Uh-huh.
And without giving away the plot, because I know the movie's technically still in theaters, and
Wait, it's not based on a true story, right?
No.
Okay.
And I have Peacock.
So every now and then Peacock gets a movie like that's still in theaters.
And so I was watching this movie, and it was like it's the like best case scenario for a creepy AI doll, whereas meaning that like it, you know, whatever everything goes haywire and the doll whatever kills people and shit. Like that's, you know, it's a horror movie. So it's also pretty funny. But I was sitting there thinking about all the AI conversations that we've had and how this quote unquote child that would get treated, that every now and then would get treated by a child, by some of the characters. It's like, I don't know, no, you don't understand. It's a robot. You can beat it to death, right? Like it's like it confirmed all of my things about AI, where it's like, oh, AI is becoming more like people. Oh, they can, you know, whatever. They can like pretend to have feelings, or they can, you know, they can machine learn because they're connected to the internet and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but if they don't do what you say, then you kill them because they're not people, right? Like that. Like it's like you can't. That separation can't go away.
Well, technically, you can't kill a robot. But.
You can dismantle it.
Right. Yeah. Just make it inoperable.
Right. And every now and then, right, throughout the plot of this movie, it would be like, you know, they would be like, M3GAN, turn off. Right, and then M3GAN would like pretend to turn off and then not turn off. Right, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, oh, the second that you do that, I will destroy you. Right, but this was the funny part to me. Right, was it so M3GAN's a robot, right? So that means that like her joints and stuff, her, you know, like her fucking shoulders and elbows and stuff, it's like she has the strength of a machine, right? Which means that it's like a child that could fucking strangle you to death, right? Which, I'm sorry, don't do it like that. like that was my biggest loss of suspension of disbelief is like, oh, I'm sorry, you made this thing a 9-year-old girl, right? And that's supposed to hang out with other 9-year-olds or whatever, but you also gave it like the strength of like a fucking you know, like a strong man, like a bodybuilder, right? Like, why? That's so dumb. Like, and counterintuitive, right? It's like, no, you wouldn't do that because you don't want. M3GAN shouldn't be able to lift a car, right?
No.
Like, stop.
M3GAN should not even be able to lift a knife.
M3GAN, or it's like, you know, no, you can, it's like grasping things and whatever. I get that there would be some utility to that, whatever, you know,
okay.
Like having it be a doll that's so much like a kid that the doll can play with your kid. The doll can run, the doll can fucking, you know, play chess or whatever, right? But to have the doll be able to kill an adult and like outsmart an adult. That's the other thing. It's like, no, dude. Big red off switch on the forehead of the thing. You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing with like AI and like all that, like robotics and stuff. Is like the kill switch better be a big old thing, right? You better be able to punch M3GAN in the stomach and then M3GAN turns the fuck off all the way, right? Otherwise, I don't want it. It's, you know, it's like I'm gonna be walking around with baseball bats just waiting for this thing to come to me because, like, you know, oh look, it's a dog. Oh no, it's a robot dog, so it's not a dog, right? It's not a dog. It doesn't have feelings. It's not a real thing, right? And the idea, like that sort of like fucking, you know, conspiracy theory documentary type cute bullshit where like, you know, it's like they're using the you know, like entertainers to like get us desensitized to like the difference between like robot and human, and so that we don't know the difference, or so that we, you know, have empathy for robots or whatever. Oh, okay. Go ahead. It ain't gonna work on me.